Welcome to macOS Genius on the YouTube channel. So Sifu Technology Services, new branding, same company. So what we're going to go ahead and do today is that we're going to go over through Apple School Manager. Apple School Manager is your hold the beholder for the DEP, the Device Enrollment Program, and that basically any Apple devices you buy for your business or organization basically gets hauled into this specific website, which is also called school.apple.com, or either it might be called business.apple.com, and that's where all your devices are registered, like orders, everything that's related with Apple for your company or organization. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to add a computer device, a Mac device. We don't have any Mac devices under MDM for my school institution, and I wanted to start testing that out. So to do that, we have to get into Apple School Manager. This is kind of what it looks like. It's right here. This website, you log in with your Apple ID. Your Apple ID is not going to be your normal Apple ID, like first name, last name, or whatever the Apple ID is at iCloud.com. It's going to be like your first name, first initial, last name, or whatever the name it's going to be called, like say Apple. It's going to be like Apple at, and then it's going to be your domain, whatever your domain is. Could be Omnicom, it can be Accenture, it can be Empire.com, Empire, and then it'll be Empire .com, not .com, it would be .com, and then .appleid.com. So it has to be something specifically with Apple, not your specific email that you use for your organization. So let's go ahead and close this one. So what we're going to do is, once I logged in, this is what appears. So it gives you options on the left hand side, your users, your roles, your accounts. But we're going to do devices. These are all my devices that are currently enrolled into MDM, which is supposedly 383 devices. But I want to add one of these devices, which could be an iMac, it could be a MacBook Pro, it could be a MacBook Air. But instead of me looking through all these, I did copy the serial number. And so here we go. Copy this. This is the serial number right here. And then I want to go ahead and select on where it says no MDM server. So we're going to have this change. We're going to select an MDM server. So you select an edit MDM server in the top center. Select assign to the following MDM. Then you want to select on Baker MDM is the only server that I have selected or I have available. So I will go ahead and select this. Then I want to go ahead and select on continue. And it says, are you sure you want to add changes to it? Basically, it's going to change your setup process with your setup assistant. Your setup assistant is when you power up your MacBook and it comes up and it says, do you want to enable location, privacy, touch ID, Siri, and all this other stuff. You can pick and choose which ones you want to appear or not. So we're going to hit confirm. It says updating MDM server. It's been updated. It still doesn't show here for MDM server. So we're just going to go ahead and refresh. Once it's done refreshing, it should appear in a moment. If we put in the serial number again, you can see now it has an MDM server. It's for that same MacBook Pro. There's a serial number. This is an order number that was purchased when you purchased it from Apple. And then that's pretty much it. So now what we have to do is we'll have to go into your Jamf suite. So basically this works with your MDM server, which our MDM server is Jamf School. Now, for your organization, you may use Jamf Now, which are more for smaller, really small businesses. So there's no really minimum to have. Whereas a Jamf Pro, you probably need to require a minimum of like 400 devices. And Jamf School, you need at least like 250 devices or more. So there's 3 different platforms, but the 3 different platforms do technically the same thing, same feature, same function. And let's get to that video now. We're going to go ahead and bring Jamf over. So here it is. So this is your Jamf. This is my Jamf School for the organization. This is the main dashboard. So whatever we did in Apple School Manager, or what you would do in business.school.com, business.apple.com website, which is the same as Apple School Manager. You would want to make sure you log into your Jamp, either School, Now, or Pro version, and you want to select on Synchronize under the dashboard. Doing Synchronize will make sure that any of the apps that were recently purchased under Apple School Manager, or School Manager we'll just say, or Apple Manager will sync all that content over to your MDM, which is Jamp. So that's the serial number of the device that I want to install the profile configuration. And so under devices on the left hand side, hit the drop down. You want to select an automated device enrollment. And once you do that, you can see that this serial number appeared up, which is the same one. There it is. Don't worry about where it says no profile signed. We are going to go ahead and set that up and so forth. But I wanted to show you how you can sync your devices that you are enabling for the MDM solution under the Apple Manager over to your Jamp suite, and make sure that it is under devices and automated device enrollment. Once it appears, we can go to the next step. So feel free to watch our next video on part 2 and how to create the profile for the automated device enrollment profile under your Jamp suite to configure your Macs that you're going to be enrolling.